Hello, my name is Will Dean. I'm the forest author. I'm a British author, but I live here in the wilderness of Sweden, and I've got some really exciting news to share with you today. Welcome back. It's good to see you. I'm outside of the shack. The weather is good. It is springtime here, and I have a little secret to share with you, a secret that I've been holding deep within myself for quite a few years. In addition to writing the Tuva Moodyson series of books set in Sweden, I'm also writing standalone novels. And the first of these is called The Last Thing to Burn, and it will be published in January. And I feel very lucky that this is happening. So basically I had an idea for a book in 2016. So we're going back almost 4 years. And I had this idea between midnight and 6 a.m. one night, laying in bed. My wife was fast asleep. It's one of those situations that never really happens to people, never happens to me. I had an entire book idea from beginning to end, the entire scene, the entire mood, the whole narrative arc of the story came to me one morning. And at like 6:15 a.m., I woke up my wife and I said, I think I've had an idea for a book. And I told her about it and she thought it sounded interesting. And I told my agent about it and she thought it sounded interesting. So I went away and I wrote the first draft in 2017. And then the Tuva Moodyson books happened and those deals were done. And I was very busy doing publicity and working on those books. But in the middle, where I found a weekend here or a free night there, I would work on this standalone book, which is now called The Last Thing to Burn, and which is set in the east of England in the Fens. It's set on the Fenland Farm. Really, it's about two characters, one of whom is keeping the other captive. So it's the story of that person who's being kept captive. And it is a thriller in a sense, but it's also about love and about family and about resilience. And writing that story was incredibly intense and emotional. So a lot of books are quite epic and broad and filmic. And this book is less filmic, I would say, and more like a play. But not like one of those plays in a huge theatre. This is more like a community play or something like that. It's very close up and personal. There's only really two characters in this story. And I think as a reader, you're like in a small theatre above a pub watching a couple of actors, and you can almost smell them. You can almost see the vapor of their breath. It's set on a Fenland Farm, which is a landscape that I'm extremely familiar with. That's where I'm from, the East Midlands of the UK. I'm from the kind of the edge of the fens rather than in the fens proper. But the premise of the story is that someone is captive on a desolate farm in the most open landscape of all. So someone is captive in a place with no boundaries, no physical boundaries. There are no fences, there are no hedges, there are no walls. This is an incredibly flat, open landscape of fields, and yet this character cannot leave, is being stopped from leaving. The book's been likened to Room by Emma Donoghue and also Misery by Stephen King, two writers that I love and admire greatly. I feel very lucky that this book has been picked up My agent sent it to a few editors last autumn, and I always try and be as transparent as I can be about book deals and so on for other writers who are looking for agents or who are looking for editors. So my agent sent the book out to a few people. We didn't have any idea if it would get any kind of reaction, if anyone would warm to it. One of the publishers who preempted the book was Hodder. That's the publisher we went with in the end, who are fantastic. They published Stephen King and John Connolly and Erin Kelly. So in the UK, Hodder bought the rights, and in the US, it was preempted by Simon & Schuster, by Emily Bestler at Simon & Schuster, which is just an absolute dream come true and something I didn't really expect. So now I get to write a series that I love with a protagonist that I love, Tuva Moodyson, and I also get to kind of flex my writing muscles a little bit and be more inventive and spread my wings and write standalone stories. And I just feel very grateful that it will reach an audience and that people will read this story and future standalone novels. And that's it. I just wanted to share this news with you and explain a little bit about what I've been doing here in the woods when I'm not working on the Tuva books. I think you can see Bernie over there keeping watch. He's well, he's very well. Monty's also well. But over the coming months, up to publication in January, I'll be telling you a lot more about the book and the characters. But I just wanted to tell you a little bit about this book deal and the fact that I'll be writing standalone novels now, plural, in addition to the Tuva Moodyson novels, plural. And that's a dream come true. But that's it, that's my news. The Last Thing to Burn will be out in January, I think, in the UK, and in April in the US. Yeah. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.